let's be honest, with the way this country works, this gonna be going on for a while, okay? A little hot minute until we get our things together, because I don't know what we got going on, but that's just the reality of it. So because this thing is going on does not mean life is gonna stop. Like, people are still being born and people are unfortunately passing away from whatever the cause may be. You feel me? Life is still moving. So what I mean by going out, since we are in this era, we're going to take the necessary precautions. Make sure you have your mask. Make sure you have gloves if you want to wear gloves. Make sure you got hand sanitizer on you. Make sure you're social distancing, and being mindful of other people's health, because it's not about you, okay? It's not about you. The faster y'all get this thing together, the faster y'all can get back to before this all started happening. And if you're doing like get-togethers, keep it to the minimum of what they're saying. I think they increased it from 10 people to like 15, 20, I don't know. But make sure you're doing that. If you normally would have gone out 10 times a week without this thing happening, just cut that down to going 5 times, because being stuck in your room, especially when we're doing these online classes, is not good for anyone's mental health, okay? Like, you start to get down, and it's the fact that you're not even getting cute or getting dressed up to go anywhere. You're staying in your pajamas with your bonnet on. Look at the mess. And, you know, when you get dressed up and you look good, you start to feel good. You feel me? So I feel like it's good, even if you don't want to interact with people, like, go outside for a walk or go get some food or something, like, but be careful. Be careful. Because some of y'all acting reckless. Next is calculate your grades if you're doing bad and do well in the beginning. So let me start with do well in the beginning. When the semester starts, don't like not try or be like, well, I can make it up on the next one. I can make it up on the next one. Because if you keep doing that, when it gets to the next one, it's going to be too late. And at that point, you can't bring up your grade and you're repeating the class. Let's not do that. What I normally do is the first test is my whatever test. Like, I'm gonna study for it, but I'm not gonna care if I do bad on it because it's the first test. I don't know how their tests are for that class, and I know I can make it up on test 2, 3, 4. Now, if there's 3 tests in the class, then it's kind of like, okay, well, you can't completely do bad. But what I've noticed is that I'm gonna stop doing that tactic. Not that it's not working for me, but it's just like, it's better to do better in the beginning and then mess up the last test, because you'll rather have a good grade and try to keep it up than to have a low grade and try to get it up. It becomes harder because the first test is always the easiest test, no matter what. It could be orgo or whatever. First test is always the easiest test because that's the most basic information before they start layering it with other material. So it makes sense to have the last test be your like whatever test, because if you did well on the first 3 tests and with all them other grades in the grade book, it doesn't really matter with the last test as much, because based off your previous grades, there's only so much that test can affect the rest of the grades that are in the book. Calculating your grades if you're doing bad, this is what I do all the time. So I know, like, okay, well, I got this on test A and test B, and I did this on the quizzes. So what do I need to get the grade that I want? So if I'm trying to get an A, which I'm always trying to get an A because it's 4-point season out here, baby, I'll calculate it based off the assignment points and then what I got out of the assignments. Now, be mindful. Some of these professors do not like to update Blackboard. I don't know what it is. Like, you literally have one job. Input the assignment. Like, literally, the computer did the grading for you. Why is it not updated? And another thing is that the teachers who do update on Blackboard is not necessarily reliable, depending on the professor. Sometimes on Blackboard, it be having the your weighted like average for the class and then what you actually have. So your weighted could be an 88, but what you actually have is an 85. Yeah, I think I did that right. Basically, what you actually have will take into account, like, oh, tests are worth 20% of your grade, blah, blah, blah. And the weighted would just be, like, all the assignments that is put into Blackboard. So when you actually do your calculation, I know for one, I really thought I had an 87 in a class. And then when I did the math myself with all the assignments and all the points that I got on the assignments, it was literally an 83 because Blackboard was showing me the weighted average and not what I actually had. So definitely do the math to double check, and especially if you want to look ahead, some professors literally put in all the assignments for the semester, whether they assigned it or not, they'll put it out of how many points it is. So you already know, even on the syllabus it says how many points the class will be. You already know like how many points you need to get to make sure you get an A or B, whatever grade that you're trying to get, so you can use that to keep on track with it. There's 3 more things. Next is classes at community college. This is something I wish I did. I'm the first out of all my siblings to go to college because I'm the oldest. So I'm kind of like the test dummy for this. But I wish that, well, not wish, but to stay ahead, I would have taken some of my classes over the summer at a community college, like accounting 1 and accounting 2. That way I could just stay ahead. Because if you're ahead in your degree, a degree is 120 credits, by the way, if you didn't know. If you're ahead in your degree, then there's more leave room. Like, if you fail a class and you have to retake it, it's not going to make you graduate late because you're already, like, 15 credits ahead of everybody else. Or, if you want to add a minor, that gives you more room in your thing to easily add a minor without having to do the extra summer classes over winter break, and everything like that. And if you want to graduate early, taking classes over the summer or doing all that jazz will get you there, which means you save more money when you graduate early, okay? So that's something that you guys can think about. Definitely take some gen eds or classes like that you know are hard at your institution. Take them at community college. Like at BCU, I hear anatomy and physiology is really hard, so most people take that class over the summer. For business, they say accounting is really hard, so most people take that class over the summer. If you're redoing a class, people like to redo that over the summer instead of wasting another semester, and instead of using that slot for something else, retaking that class, they do it over the summer. That's just something to keep in mind. Anything that's in your schedule, if you're like, oh, let me just get this out of the way so I can have an easy semester, you might want to look into that. Next thing is talk to your advisor and other students. Now, your advisor, you don't really need to talk to them, to be honest, because on your degree works, it literally tells you all the classes that you have to take to graduate. Literally. Except for if you're a foundation student. So like me, when I was a business foundations major, before I got accepted into my program, freshman and sophomore year on my degree works, it only showed me the classes that I needed to take to complete my business foundation major. All the classes, all the junior level classes, senior level classes, it did not show me that because I'm not technically in my major, so that's kind of like unnecessary information. So at that point in time, you will have to listen to your advisor because they can give you a game plan of like, oh, you should take these certain classes at the same time, or these are all the classes that you should take, but I heard that this one is hard and this one is easier based off on the other students that they advise. But keep in mind, just because they tell you to take this class at this point in time does not mean you have to take it. Because sis, if she's saying take chem, orgo, bio, and AFAM at the same time, what do you look like? That's a death sentence. You're gonna be like, no, I'm not taking chem and orgo at the same time. I'm taking one or the other, and that's point blank, period. Like, at the end of the day, you make your schedule, so you don't necessarily have to take the advice that your advisor gives you, because sometimes they don't even be giving good advice. But yeah, definitely talk to your advisor and other students about clubs and things like that you want to partake in, because doing clubs and being involved and going to events makes the semester fun, not just doing your schoolwork. So that's something else that you should tap into. But yeah, definitely when it comes to classes, there's some things that you will have to listen to your advisor, because I know for me, business statistics 2, I have to take it, but it was never on my degree works, and I was confused. So I'm like, I'm a management major, why the heck do I need to take stats 2? But once I got into my major, once I got that letter confirming that, oh, you have met all the requirements, then it showed up on my degree works. So if my advisor didn't tell me that I needed to take that class, I would have not taken it. So y'all would know what classes you have to take and what classes that you don't have to take. If your advisor says to take this class and other people in your major are like, oh, I don't have to take that class, there's a disconnect. Somebody's wrong, and you need to find out that solution before it comes graduation time and they're like, oh, well, you did not take this class, so you will not be graduating. Y'all gonna be sick. Y'all gonna be sick when they tell you have to graduate late, because we don't want that. And then last but not least, add, drop, and withdraw. So add drop week is the first week of the semester. And basically with add drop week, if you want to have an easy semester, or you want to have a semester that you can handle, let's say you have a job where you're involved in too many clubs and everything like that, and you realize like, nah, this class is not going to work right now, drop the class and replace it with something else that's easier, like a gen ed, like an art, music, dance, history, whatever the case may be. You can replace it with that, or you could just drop the class completely. Or if you're like, oh, I'm only taking 12 credits but I decided to take 15, you can add the class on without being charged. Not without being charged, without what? You can get your money back. If you drop a class in add drop week, you will get your money back. Okay? But if you drop a class after that first week, you won't get your money back. So basically how this works, bro, this is all over the place. I'm sorry, because I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Basically how this works, for example, if it's good to know when to drop a class in add drop week. I don't know how people know, because it's just like, we didn't even do anything the first day for you to want to drop the class. But if you're taking, for example, what I said earlier, AFAM, Chem, Orgo, and Bio, and you're like, yes, that's not going to work. So either Orgo or Chem is going to have to give, and you decide to drop Orgo, then when you drop it, it's smart that you dropped it at that point, because if you had waited and you're like, oh, let me see how this first test goes, and you fail the first test, and you're like, okay, well, I got on the second test, and you fail the second test and you drop the class, it will show up as a W on your transcript, which is better than an F on your transcript. It would just show people that you withdrew from the class. They don't know why you withdrew. It could be because you were failing. It could be because of family issues. It could be because you just didn't want to take the class. That's not going to matter. That's going to be better than an F, because a W will not impact your GPA, but an F definitely will. And once your GPA is down, it's definitely hard to get back up. Now, if you do end up like staying in the class and failing it because you think like you're going to really like come out the woodworks with it and you don't, then you can file for a historical repeat form when you retake the class. And the thing that the historical repeat form does, you turn it into financial aid. And basically when you retake the class, the better grade goes into your GPA. So if you failed Orgo, right, and you retake the class and you get a B in it, they're going to take the F out of your GPA and replace it with a B. So your GPA will be higher again. It will be like you never failed the class. But on your transcript, it will show that the first time that you took Orgo, you failed it. And the second time you took Orgo, you got a B, which is still good because it shows that you improved drastically. But that's just something to keep in mind, that if you don't drop a class within add drop week, which is the first week of the semester, also known as syllabi week, then you're going to have to withdraw before the withdrawal date. That way, that class that you're doing bad in doesn't impact your GPA. And don't worry about like, oh, you're dropping a class, you're going to be down credits. A lot of people drop classes. It's definitely normal. Mad people be adding and dropping their classes. You will notice that first week of class, I mean, not now because we're online, but you will notice that first week on class, once we go back to normal, that mad people, you'll notice that it will be 100 people in the class, and the next thing you know, it's only 50. Like, literally the first day, there would not even be enough seats for people to sit. And then you realize that there's so many empty seats after the first week because so many people dropped the class. And teachers will always ask, like, are you new? Is there anyone that's new? Do the add drop week so they can fill you in on the information that you missed. Because that's another thing to keep in mind. When you do add a class, the class is not going to restart for you. So if you add the class on the last day on Sunday, and this is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, just keep in mind you missed Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days of classes. So therefore, you are now 3 days behind. So it's up to you to catch up. The teacher will ask and give you like the syllabus and everything, but any notes that were taken within those 3 class periods is up to you to get. And yeah, that's basically it. Make sure y'all are involved in campus and things like that. Try to make the most of everything that's going on right now. I know I am. So, and the thing about freshmen is y'all will be okay. I know it's not the experience that you wanted, but you guys will be okay, because I guarantee this thing, I feel like we will go back to normal for real spring semester 2022. which is my last semester in college. So for the freshmen, you guys will still have 2 whole years of normalcy. Same thing with class of 2021 graduating high school. When y'all come in, y'all will have normalcy. So just enjoy this while it lasts. Make the most of it, because there's nothing that we can do about it. It's out of our control. So yeah, you only go to college once, so there's no time to mope around about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video is not too long. I'm gonna have to edit it. I might make it 2 parts, who knows. But yeah, y'all show me some love. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications so you know every single time I post. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Be easy, gang.
I know you ain't hard to man. I'm ballin' on them pussy nigga like you want a man. I'm drowning all inside the pussy like I never swam. Hey, fuck your IG, I put something on your sonogram.